Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Hyde. I am a senior in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And today I will be doing a presentation on quail nutritional information. So, before we get started into the nutritional information on quails, I wanted to give some quick definitions to clear things up so we're all following along together. So, to begin, micronutrients are vitamins and minerals needed by the body in very small amounts. These will be things like your vitamin B's, vitamin C, or even minerals such as calcium, iron, magnesium, things like that. Macronutrients are nutrients that provide calories or energy and are required by the body in large amounts for the body to function. These are fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, which I'll be referring in this video as carbs. Minerals are elements found within the earth and foods that the body requires to function. Like I mentioned earlier, this would be like calcium, iron, and magnesium. Vitamins are nutrients that the body needs in small amounts to function. They are found in plant and animal products. Okay, we're going to start by talking about quail eggs. And just to make this easier, I compared quail egg nutritional information to chicken egg nutritional information. So that is what we will be talking about in the next few slides. Are white and tan, and they are quite larger than quail eggs. One chicken egg is equal to about 3 quail eggs by weight. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Hyde. I am a senior in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And today I will be doing a presentation on quail nutritional information. Ratio of egg white to egg yolk, whereas chicken eggs, there's more white than yolk. Quail eggs tend to be richer and creamier than chicken eggs. They're smaller and their shells are tan and speckled. Chicken eggs, shells, are white or tan, or they can be different colors as well, but majority of them are white and tan, and they are quite larger than quail eggs. One chicken egg is equal to about 3 quail eggs by weight. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be talking about vitamins found in quail eggs and chicken eggs. We're going to be talking about 3 vitamins that are most abundant in quail eggs. These include vitamin B2, vitamin B12, and vitamin A. There are plenty more vitamins found within quail eggs, but like I said, these are the 3 most abundant, so we're going to be starting with those. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be talking about vitamins found in quail eggs and chicken eggs. We're going to be talking about 3 vitamins. Okay, so the next and last vitamin we'll be talking about for quail eggs is vitamin A or retinol. So there's 2% of the daily value of vitamin A in quail eggs. So just one quail egg has 2% compared to one chicken egg having 8% of the daily value. Vitamin A helps your eyesight. It's also an antioxidant, just like vitamin B2, and also helps teeth, tissue, skin, and mucous membranes. Okay, so next I made this graph, which lists the minerals found in chicken egg, in the amount in one egg, which you have to remember is about 1.5 to 2 ounces. There are more minerals in this in chicken eggs, but these are the ones that I chose to compare to quail eggs because they are the most abundant. So first is calcium, which is 56 milligrams, phosphorus, which is 198 milligrams, iron, which is 1.75 milligrams, potassium, 138 milligrams, magnesium, 12 milligrams, and manganese, which is less than half a milligram, selenium, 0.03 milligrams, zinc, 1.29 milligrams, sodium, 142 milligrams, and choline, which is 147 milligrams. Later on, we'll be talking about what these minerals do for the body. Okay, here is the chart of the same minerals just for quail eggs. So calcium has 64 milligrams, phosphorus has 226 milligrams, iron has 3.65 milligrams, potassium has 132 milligrams, magnesium 13 milligrams, manganese 0.038 milligrams, selenium 0.032 milligrams, zinc 1.47 milligrams, sodium 141 milligrams, and choline, which is 264 milligrams. Remember that this is quail eggs, which is about a third of an ounce, compared to a chicken egg, which is 1.5 to 2 ounces. So, what is the difference between the nutrient composition between chicken eggs and quail eggs? So, chicken eggs have more potassium and sodium compared to quail eggs. Quail eggs have more calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, selenium, zinc, and choline. So, quail eggs are a lot more nutrient dense compared to chicken eggs because they're about a third of the size. This means that you're still getting a lot of nutrients for both of them, but a lot more nutrients are packed into a smaller, more condensed area in quail eggs than they are in chicken eggs. So you're getting more bang for your buck essentially with quail eggs. Okay, next we're going to be talking about quail meat nutrient information, which just like the quail eggs, we will be comparing to chicken meat since it is the most common poultry consumed. Okay, so we're going to dive deep into quail meat macronutrients. Remember, macronutrients are nutrients that your body needs in large amounts. So this would be protein, fat, and carbohydrates. So for 1 ounce of cooked quail meat, this is no seasonings or anything added. It has 65 calories, 7 grams of protein, 4 grams of fat, and 0 grams of carbs. And just to break it down a little further for you, in 1 gram of fat, there are 9 calories. In 1 gram of protein, there are 4 calories. And in 1 gram of carbs, there are also 4 calories. So that's kind of how that's broken up. Okay, so this is chicken meat macronutrients. This is per 4 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breast, which just like the quail meat, has nothing added to it while it is cooked. No seasonings or anything, it is just the chicken. So there's 120 calories, 25 grams of protein, 0 grams of fat, and 0 grams of carbs. And compared to the quail, that's about 40 calories per 1 ounce and 5 to 6 calories per 1 ounce. Okay, here is a table of the quail meat micronutrients. Once cooked, again, this is 1 ounce of cooked quail meat, nothing added. There's 4.25 milligrams of calcium, 1.26 milligrams of iron, 6.24 milligrams of magnesium, 79.1 milligrams of phosphorus, 61.2 milligrams of potassium, 14.7 milligrams of sodium, almost a milligram of zinc, and roughly 6 universal units of selenium. So this slide's kind of talking about what I was just saying. So quail meat has more calories per 1 ounce, but it also has more protein and fat. And this is not bad fat. It's good fat. There's also more calcium, iron, selenium, magnesium, phosphorus, etc., etc. Chicken meat has less calories per 1 ounce, less protein per 1 ounce, but far more sodium. And sodium can actually be bad for your body if you have too much of it. It can block your arteries. So it's one thing to be wary of it. And we'll talk about more later. So now we're going to be discussing about what these nutrients found in these products do for our body. I think to start off, we have phosphorus, which is responsible for kidney function, muscle contractions, and nerve signaling. There's a lot of pathways that involve phosphorus, so it is very important for the body. The recommended amount is about 700 milligrams per day. Next is calcium, which helps move muscles, aids in nerve signaling, and works with vitamin D in your bones. Adults need about 1,000 milligrams per day, but this can change depending on your age. Potassium is responsible for nerve function, proper kidney function, and muscle contraction. It's also an electrolyte, so it can help regulate hydration in your body as well. Adult men need about 3,400 milligrams a day, while adult women need 2,600 milligrams per day. Next is sodium, which if you remember, chicken meat has a lot more sodium per ounce than quail meat. Sodium is responsible for nerve transmission and contraction of muscles, just like potassium. And like potassium, it is an electrolyte. It is essential for the body, but you can have too much sodium, which can be harmful to the body. Adults need about 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Iron is next, which is essential for red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout the body. Adult men need about 8 milligrams per day, whereas adult women need 18 milligrams per day, which, like calcium, can vary depending on the stage of life you are in. Selenium is next, and it protects the body from damage caused by free radicals, which we discussed earlier, and vitamin B2 and vitamin A, which are antioxidants, which protect from free radicals. Selenium is also responsible for DNA synthesis and thyroid gland function, which is where most of your hormones in your body are stored and signaled. Adults need about 55 micrograms per day. Choline is essential for nutrient metabolism and function of the brain. Adult men need 550 milligrams per day, and adult women need 425 milligrams per day. Zinc is responsible for wound healing, metabolism, and it helps your immune system. Adult men need 11 milligrams per day, and adult women need 8 milligrams per day. Next is magnesium, which is responsible for nerve and muscle function. Adult men need 400 milligrams per day, whereas adult women need 310 milligrams per day. Next, we're going to be talking about cholesterol on eggs because they have recently had a bad rep and there's a lot of conflicting information out there, so I'm doing my best to clear it up for you. So first, what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a type of essential dietary fat, which is, if you remember earlier, I was talking about how there's more fat in quail meat compared to chicken meat, and I said this is a good fat. There are good and bad fats, and not all cholesterol is bad for you. It is essential for the body to work. The liver makes up a majority of the cholesterol in the body. It makes it from your diet. Cholesterol is responsible for hormones, the cell membrane, bile acid production, and helps synthesize vitamin D. There are good and bad cholesterol, like I said. Bad cholesterol can build up in your arteries. Okay, so this is the cycle of cholesterol, and I want to talk about the good and the bad cholesterol and what each can do. So first, I want to go through different chylomicrons, which is a type of cholesterol. And there's VLDL, LDL, and HDL. So first, I'm going to start with HDL, which is the good cholesterol. And it's very small, and it helps carry bad cholesterol back to the liver to be reprocessed so it doesn't stick in your body. So we like HDL. Next is LDL, which is low density lipoprotein. And that's a little bit bigger than HDL, and it does carry fat back to the liver. However, it's not as efficient as HDL. Next, we have VLDL, which is very low density lipoprotein, which is mostly air, I guess. It's mostly space rather than the HDL, which has a lot of nutrients packed in. The LDL takes up a lot more space than the HDL. So when people say you have high cholesterol, they're probably talking about LDL or VLDL because VLDL can build up in your arteries and kind of clog them, which is also what sodium can do. So if you have high blood pressure, it's probably due to either sodium or your cholesterol intake. And cholesterol is dietary fat. So in this cycle, we have you ingest cholesterol or fat in your diet, and the liver makes it into HCl. Then the HCl kind of goes through the arteries to find fat and peripheral cells, and it kind of converts it lower. You can see it goes from VLDL to LDL, and that it means it's going in the right direction. Moving from bad cholesterol to good cholesterol. So once it picks up that fat, it's going to go back to the liver, which is called reverse cholesterol transport. And it goes through the lymph nodes into the liver vein. So once it's back in the liver kind of helps break it down, and then the cycle repeats. So it can be very, very good for you. You just have to make sure that you're watching what cholesterol you have in your diet. Now that we've hopefully cleared up what cholesterol is and the difference between good and bad cholesterol, we talked about eggs. So eggs have previously had a bad rep due to the suspicions of them raising cholesterol. Eggs are naturally high in cholesterol, but it does not raise the levels of bad cholesterol or the VLDL/LDL cholesterol. The increase in cholesterol is likely due to other breakfast items such as bacon. Especially in the American diet, when we have breakfast in the morning, we like having toast, bacon, eggs, pancakes. All those are naturally high in fat, especially if you butter your toast or butter your eggs too, or put cheese on your eggs. Those are high in fat anyways. So it's most likely due to the bacon or the butter that you use when cooking rather than the eggs that will raise your cholesterol. However, yolk is the main source of cholesterol in eggs. If you're concerned about the yolk raising cholesterol, limit yourself to 5 egg yolks per week. Egg yolks do, however, contain the good cholesterol, or the HDL cholesterol. Okay, next we're talking about quail eggs and cholesterol. So the amount of cholesterol present in the egg depends on the diet of the bird. Since quail eggs have a higher yolk to white ratio, they do contain more cholesterol than chicken eggs. But remember, about 1 chicken egg is 3 quail eggs. So in 100 grams of chicken egg yolk, there's 372 milligrams of cholesterol. But in 100 grams of quail yolk, there's 844 milligrams. So quail eggs do have higher levels of cholesterol. And it is recommended to limit dietary cholesterol to 300 milligrams per day because cholesterol can come from the liver from your diet, and the liver can also make it from other nutrients that are already in your body. It doesn't have to necessarily be ingested, which is the difference between good and bad. So you can see that quail eggs are far above the recommended dietary cholesterol level. Next, I wanted to include this image because it showed the inside of a quail egg and kind of the anatomy. So you have the air cell, which we'll talk about later when cracking a quail egg. Then you have like the membrane, the disc, the egg shell, which is a lot thicker and tougher than chicken eggs, which we'll also talk about later. And then the albumin, which is the egg white. So that kind of shows a diagram of that. Next, I'm going to touch on egg allergies because there are some people that are allergic to chicken eggs, but not allergic to quail eggs. So, there's an experiment done with quail eggs and allergic reactions done on mice. It was found that quail eggs reduce inflammatory response triggered by an allergen. Quail eggs reduce inflammatory markers in tissues compared to chicken eggs. However, it was only found to affect some immune responses, but not all, because it takes multiple responses to have a reaction. The effect of the immune response is likely come from the ovomucoid and ovo inhibitor, which is found in the egg white, or the albumin, which was what was found on the last slide of the anatomy of the quail egg. Research is still being conducted to compare chicken egg allergies and quail egg allergies to see what the difference could come from. I'm going to share 2 recipes that I found on Pinterest about cooking with quail eggs. So the first is pickled quail eggs by Naturally Jamie. So you need some hard-boiled quail eggs, some lime juice, sugar, salt, garlic, red pepper flakes, and vinegar. So first you want to hard-boil the eggs. In a jar, combine lime juice, sugar, salt, and red pepper flakes. Add a splash of vinegar and shake ingredients together in the jar. Once the eggs are done boiling, you want to add the peeled eggs to the jar. Then you want to continue to add vinegar into the jar until the eggs are covered. You want to place the lid on the jar and leave it in the refrigerator for a few days before eating. And that concludes my presentation on Quail's nutrition. If you had any questions, my LinkedIn is there. It's just at Catherine Hyde. Just want to say thank you so much for listening, and I hope I did provide some good information for you. These last 2 slides are my references. I say thank you again. Bye.